Last Tuesday, we got to officially find out who Antonio Brown's new favorite driver is going to be for the 2025 season. Chase Briscoe is going to have the great honor of driving the Cracker Mobile for Joe Gibbs Racing. Outside of the driver change, this is a rather surprising move. The car number is going to remain number 19, even though the 18 has a stronger history but is on the sidelines. Bass Pro Shops is going to remain the anchor sponsor, as well as James Small continuing to be at the helm of this program. It has been well documented that James Small and Martin Truex Jr. argue like an old married couple, and you can tell with MTJ's stats he took a dip whenever James Small became the crew chief in 2020. Although, to give him some credit, the guy is the 2023 regular season champion and has won a handful of races. Chase Briscoe is a plug-and-play driver. These are teams where it's an elite level talent that decides to retire, or in the case of Dale Earnhardt, he tragically loses his life, which opens the door for a Kevin Harvick, Jeff Gordon, or even Josh Berry when he succeeded Harvick last year to take over a race team that has all of the pieces there. The expectations for Chase Briscoe next season are going to be sky high, considering that he is replacing one of the better drivers in the 2010s and early 2020s. So Chase Briscoe getting this opportunity has led to a lot of people questioning whether he really deserves this opportunity at Joe Gibbs Racing, an elite level team. However, to those Chase Briscoe critics, the people that are skeptical, I just have to ask, what's your bag? Now, I'm not going to ignore that his Cup Series statistics are rather mediocre, especially for a driver that's a top talent, a driver that you sign even if you don't have room on your team. I still believe an A-tier talent like Kyle Busch deserved that spot over Truex, although his lips were sealed, he couldn't talk to any other teams. Then you look at all the Toyota drivers in the system and there's nobody that really stands out. John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, Chandler Smith, and Sheldon Creed are all talented drivers, but they are easily flawed. Toyota Racing Development just doesn't have that driver that's like a Christopher Bell, someone that's not only NASCAR Cup Series ready, but someone that you look at and say he is a leading battlehawk for our organization, which made it much easier for Joe Gibbs Racing to sign Chase Briscoe. Especially considering that Chase Briscoe's racing career so far mirrors that of Martin Truex Jr. Both drivers are hard-working, blue-collar guys that gain the attention of a NASCAR champion. Both drivers dominated the NASCAR Busch Xfinity Series, struggled as a Cup rookie, however they would have a Linsanity run in their sophomore campaigns. But then, in years 3 and 4 in Cup, they had to battle through penalties and the decline of their organizations to get a better opportunity. Now, this is where you'd hope that Briscoe kind of goes away from the path of Martin Truex Jr., because if not, he's going to win one race at Joe Gibbs Racing and then lose his job because Ty Gibbs is going to have an itchy arm. I think the main reason a lot of people are having a problem with Chase Briscoe is because he doesn't fit the stereotypical Joe Gibbs Racing mold. Historically, Joe Gibbs Racing is a team where the drivers aren't necessarily likable. 2008 was arguably the pinnacle of that when you had Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin all drive on the same race team, and then they also had Joey Logano replace Stewart in 2009. All of these drivers became hated because they either wrecked a Hendrick driver or they had an unlikable personality, which Chase Briscoe is a driver that's quite the opposite. He is just that type of driver that would casually share his chili with a blonde grizzly bear. However, in Chase Briscoe's short time in the NASCAR Cup Series, we've seen that he's made a lot of bonehead moves when he's run up front. And honestly, that's my one prediction for Chase Briscoe in 2025. I believe that he is going to have a Tyler Reddick Darlington reality check where he drives in way over his head and makes some enemies. Which, that would be Chase Briscoe's official Joe Gibbs Racing rite of passage, especially if he does it to Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson. I also believe that Chase Briscoe 2025 might be like a watered down version of Kyle Busch 2008. Chase Briscoe has a lot to prove and he's going to be extremely motivated, The only difference being that he's not going to have the immaturity of a 22-year-old Kyle Busch, at least I'd hope. Either way, I do think Chase Briscoe fits the Joe Gibbs Racing mold. This is a good look for modern stock car racing because Chase Briscoe is an incredible talent, and these are the type of drivers that you want to see on A-tier organizations like Joe Gibbs Racing. I don't want to see a mediocre talent or a Riley Herbst that's only here because of sponsorship get this opportunity. Sure, Chase Briscoe has a tall order ahead of him, but as long as he doesn't take off his fire suit and quit mid-race, I believe Chase Briscoe is going to gradually become one of the better drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I've got other full tank NASCAR content on Fuel Cell Full as well as my main channel, NRF Productions. Other than that, this is Nathan for Digital Gas House. Life's a beach and then you drive.